So Nintendo had a great showing at E3, Ian. That showed why they are the titans of controlling the, I guess, family-friendly video game market. But there's a contender. There's a contender in the wings that we are so excited to discuss that also had an E3 presentation.
I'm not excited.
A 10-minute E3 presentation. I got up bright and early on my Monday morning and I watched it, and the chat was very excited. The Intellivision Amico had their almost like their coming out party, like, you know, their sweet 16, so to speak, coming out to the world. And this is what we have to show you with our upcoming console that may or may not come out sometime this year, which we'll get into. And with all seriousness, it was a gigantic thud, not just in my estimation, across the internet. It was either met with derision from most people, including game journalists, or it was so much of a nothing that IGN didn't really cover it. I didn't see a GameSpot article last I checked. So it sort of came and went in a blink.
Try as Tommy May. He cannot get mainstream traction on the Intellivision Amico, and there's a reason why. It looks like shit. It looks like an also ran.
It looks like one of those. I think one of the comments I saw looked like one of those consoles you see like in Toys R Us around the, you know, like early 2000s, like for families, like, oh, just like, you know, get 10 games in one and plug it into your TV.
Journalist Kyle Orland made a good point about it before we get into it, that this is the Wii U 2 without Nintendo's backing. And think about at best. And think about how disastrous the Wii U was.
No one wanted the Wii U still. That was Nintendo coming off of the heels of one of the biggest selling consoles ever.
Right. I feel like we can cover it without watching it, but okay.
We'll go through it. Good old our pal Greg Miller doing the intro there.
Hi, I'm Tommy Tallarico, and what an honor it is for Intellivision to be a part of this year's E3. I want to personally thank the ESA for having us be involved. And we have seen some incredible stuff. What a great
So Tommy spends the first couple minutes talking about himself, basically, and going through his history. And, you know, the fact that, you know, he worked on some of these franchises. He threw in Metroid Prime into there, even though I've seen some controversy about his involvement with that franchise, about how much he actually worked on it. And then he brought up his Guinness World Records, which is nice to bring up something that you pay for in order to get an award.
Sure.
That you worked on all this stuff. And then he actually goes into the console at some point here. Let's fast forward here. And he shows the controller, how unique it is. By the way, that's a cell phone in his hand, not a controller.
Yeah, there's still a lot of cell phone.
Hide in a game like Spades. And here you'll see it on Farkle, another one of our 6-pack-in games that you get free on every console.
This is
you
interesting.
Shake it and you'll feel the vibration. We have haptic feedback. And watch, you pour it out, boom, and the dice pour right out on it.
Well, first of all, there was a delay. They didn't pour right out, but okay.
I want to know why we think this is something that we need to point out in 2021. That was maybe a selling point in 2004, and then it was quickly derided as gimmicks.
So this 10-minute video, before we get into some of the more details, is an info dump. It's everything regurgitated from the past really 2 years as quickly as we can, as much information as we can, because Tommy talks nonstop through the whole thing. They don't show any game for more than like a few seconds each. They run through as much as they can and mention as many franchises they can. It's a shotgun approach to see what they can attract as they go, which never ever works in marketing, first of all, but it comes off as almost desperate in terms of, well, I got 10 minutes, I better throw everything out there, and this is what we got. And it's like the games did not lead this presentation.
No. Not only that, I feel like it's this whole presentation has a very back again for the first time feel to it.
Oh yeah.
He desperately does not want people to look into the fact that this thing was announced when 2018, 17, and it was supposed to be out when last October, and then
2019,
when?
Yeah,
and then again in April, and I'm sorry, if you really want to watch it, we can, but I feel like it's just easier to get through these points. The big takeaway here is one of my big takeaways, there is no release date announced here. No mention of a release date.
No mention of a price either, by the way.
As I think you said, I said that too, but as I think you said, and you made a good point when we were talking about it yesterday, is that's not something that is oftentimes, it can be mentioned, but it's not always mentioned. The lack of a release date when he's got investors on the line still thinking that this is coming out in October just shows me he knows that there is no way in hell. He didn't even give it a Q4. There was just nothing.
This is not coming out this year.
This is not coming out this year.
I think I had a 17% chance. I'm being funny with the numbers, but I'll be shocked if it comes out. Maybe if it gets them out for late December, October. Absolutely not. It's not happening.
But I think he realizes that.
Screaming processor and incredible lifelike graphics. That's not what we're about.
He's already prepping people saying this is not what we're about. It's almost like, why do an E3 presentation if supposedly hardcore gamers are not your audience? You know this is not. Why even do it then? Like, what is the point at that point? And I think he responded to someone saying, well, it's to get publishers and get retailers interested. And I'm like, this is not the video to get publishers interested or retailers interested. This is not the video for that.
No.
Plus, you don't have to waste money on an E3 video to do that. That's a CG render, by the way. Shocking. This is what I want to go through. I want to point out some stuff. That's a CG render, and you're going to see a bunch of the same Photoshop images of Amico controllers in people's hands at an E3 video.
Yeah,
you're going to see this.
Come over. Maybe you have a husband or a wife who isn't into gaming as much as you are.
Photoshopped. That's Photoshop.
Badly
image.
Photoshop.
Comes over and you want to play a simple motion control game or a card game or a board
They're actually playing. I think that's
whatever it is. See, all of our games are built around fun and simplicity.
Oh,
so other
video games
systems are not built around fun. Other systems are not built around fun. They want you to have a terrible time.
Most important thing for us and gathering people.
Yeah, everything's shown for like a second and a half.
Here at Intellivision, we've assembled an incredible, passionate team of game makers who have over 600 years experience.
Why do we keep bringing up the 600
because
years experience? And I saw people immediately make fun of that.
Oh, no. Here's the thing about this. Well, as we said about the Tommy, I'm speaking to you directly. You can't hide anymore. There's no more cover anymore. The mainstream now audience and gaming journalists and people that know about games and tech, you can't hide from it anymore. This is one of the reasons why this was so derided.
Yeah, you don't have your cherry-picked, team of 50-year-olds to defend you.
You don't have your little Atari age forum harem in order to massage you anymore. Where's Jay Howard, by the way? He's not here.
Your favorite games. Everything we do, we focus on.
Probably
global marketing director Jay Allard, who was just contracted for some side work, because that's what you do with a global marketing director.
That's bullshit. That's probably Photoshop.
Putting people together and having.
That's probably
fun.
Photoshopped.
In fact,
that
we
looks
designed
Photoshopped.
Our hardware entirely around those two things. So, for example, our controller is really unique. It has a color capacitive touchscreen.
That's not unique, having a capacitive touchscreen.
On it. It really comes in handy when you're playing others that might not be as good as you in gaming. So it's a great way to give them little hints. For example, here in Shark, whoever's in last place, it will vibrate because we have haptic as well. And then it shows the color of the clam that's going to release the next big bonus pearl. So only.
So this is why I wanted to watch it, because I forgot about this. This actually, out of all the things, this annoyed me the most. The whole time, Ian, we talk about this console being for non-gamers and being simple. We said, oh, we'll give them, we have a controller that has haptic feedback and it has a fucking volume, it has a speaker on it, and it's got a 64 direction pad, something really simple, and it moves, and it has all the extra bells and whistles. And we'll put LED lights on it. And now you're telling me that my grandma has to figure out, give her a controller. Okay. Now you're going to play a game called Shark. Okay. You have a color assigned to you. Okay. Now, Grandma, you got to realize that at a certain point in time, you got to look down on your controller while you're playing a game. This is someone that's not a gamer, by the way. Look down at a controller, see a light. Okay, realize that light corresponds to something back on the screen. Look back up on the screen and then navigate and get an item. That's supposed to be simple for a non-gamer to get. All this weird interaction with the controller versus, I don't know, how about just having a simple mode for certain players that automatically get the power-ups or they get a boost in their stats or on their, their fish? Like, it's really going out of your way to use this controller for things, and you're actually making it more complicated for even regular gamers to play at that point.
As we mentioned, I think, once before when talking about the Amico, there's a reason why the Wii U came out of the gate like dual screen, look down, never do this, and then never ever used it, because unless you're playing something like the DS where you're literally flicking your eyes up and down, no one wants
and it's still within your vision,
right? It's in your field of vision. No one wants to look back and forth at two screens to play something.
Again,
it's miserable.
If it's weird for gamers, for non-gamers, no, it's not intuitive at all.
That player will get that information. And also, having a screen on every single controller gives you a lot of really cool and unique abilities.
But they're playing on phones, by the way. I think it's funny, like half of the things we're seeing are on the phone still, not the fucking controllers.
So that to me really says this is either older footage or which is not good,
or it's not working on controllers yet.
Or that's and someone mentioned that I saw somewhere. You're not seeing it because no one's seen 3 frickin' Intellivision controllers in the same room before.
They might have at the National Game Museum playing Astro Smash. They might have. But for stuff like this, we have not.
No,
for the card games,
the heavy leaning on the phone thing,
the motion controls we haven't,
is problematic for 2 reasons, as we've mentioned.
Game designs. For example,
for a long time, he swore that none of this stuff was doable on anything but an Intellivision controller.
Of course.
Well, here we are doing it on a phone.
And they can hide it in a game like Spades. And here you'll see it on Farkle, another one of our 6 pack-in games that you get free on every console. You can shake it and you'll feel the vibration. We have haptic feedback. And watch it.
Second time they mentioned haptic feedback. That almost seems like it was put in afterwards. They put it in for Shark as well. Why is that a big deal to mention haptic feedback? Like that's not,
because it's a buzzword.
Pour it out. Boom, and the dice pour right out.
They don't. It's not. There's a delay on that too, by the way.
Really important, especially for casual gamers. So a lot of our sports and recreation, for example, will use that kind of motion control. You'll see here with.
I love this shot because you can't see them actually using the controllers to play the game.
Right.
It's hidden. It's hidden behind the girl's nice dress.
You're throwing the bag, and
you can't see. You can't see it. You don't see how it works.
Well, she's also holding a phone.
Oh, was she?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Okay.
She's holding a phone. These controllers do not exist in incredibly well functioning
that we've seen
form.
That we've seen.
There was even the whole thing at
have 8 positions: up, down, left, rights, and the diagonals.
At the National Video Game Museum, where it shows him like taking a controller and shaking it to get the screen
to rotation right.
To get the rotation right.
Directions and touch sensitivity as well. So the harder I press down, it'll affect gameplay. Here's a feature I think a lot of gamers are going to love. I can take my controller, I can go over your house, dock it in your system, and because it recognizes that it's my controller, we can now play all of them.
I'm going to be nice.
Some of them are using phones. One guy's using a controller. I think it's Ham's. It's bitch, and that must be his family. One guy's using a phone. The rest are using phones.
I will be nice. That is the one thing that I can truly say I do like about the Amico, if it ever comes out. That's a nice idea. The whole port your licenses around on your controller. I think that's handy.
Use an RFID
on your system
probably
at your house. As long as my controller is there, my games are there as well. Another cool feature that we incorporated is wireless contact charging.
Okay.
Cool feature.
Okay.
Now we're really stretching for cool features.
This is this thing your cordless phone does. To call it wireless is, I think, a misnomer because there's still a wire connected somewhere. And originally, it was supposed to truly be key wireless charging.
This is not the key charging. This is the contact.
This is
actually contact.
This is an embarrassing thing to reference because it's like, wow, this is what your Wiimote sat in, basically. Your Wiimote sat in something with a contact on the bottom to charge them.
So once you're done with your controller and your game's over, you just dock it right back.
That's not something we need to hear about.
Charges for you. Another unique feature of Amico is that we have interactive LED lighting.
That's ridiculous.
The console itself,
the interactive lights thing is not. You're going to cause seizures in some kids, by the way.
And again,
it's ridiculous.
And again, we have not seen any way that that's actually useful.
You know what's really cool about having the
photoshopped image
focus be people.
The reason I get back to the photoshopped image is that to do that during an E3 presentation is so low. You're actually using controllers of some of the other companies that are involved in E3, and we're just going to wipe out those controllers of real products and put in, CG renders.
I'll give you an example. Astro Smash is a 4-player game. At any point during the game, somebody can pick up a controller and just hit the ship they want and go right into the game at any point.
That's any arcade game or portal like NBA Jam. You come into the game, or beat 'em up. That's not special.
Drop-in is interesting, but it's only interesting for more advanced games. This is common.
Yeah,
that's just an arcade game putting a quarter in and starting up.
And we'll be releasing more information.
There's the art for the games. Oh, they don't even show the physical media at E3. I skipped over that. They have a silhouette of the fucking cards. How do I go back like one frame here or whatever? They have a silhouette and don't even show you at E3 what the fuck this physical media looks like. It's infuriating. And not for me, for people that are like actually want this console. You should be infuriated that
they're stringing you along on this
4 months from release. 4 months from release and 8 months from the original release date, we don't have any clue officially what the fuck the physical media looks like on our console. Are you joking? This far away from the original release date after the fact? What is going on? Now, we know that it's likely just a fucking RFID card that gives you a key to access the game. We know that. And we know that's not truly physical media. But for all the people with the pre-orders that are hoping for real physical media, this is why you're getting tricked. You're getting tricked. You're getting tricked. Oh, buy these artworks with the fucking card likely inside to get the key to your game. It's like putting a serial number in the box, basically.
I like the Moon Patrol artwork.
You like the early 80s looking artwork?
This year. Now, here's something I think a lot of gamers are going to appreciate. We don't allow any loot boxes, in-game purchases, in-app advertising, or paid downloadable content. But what we do have is an online leaderboard system for most of our games where you can go in there and check your scores against your state, your country, the world, or the month, the year, and of all time.
Okay, I like leaderboards and I don't like loot boxes.
So
Great.
if you have the high score at the end of the month of your country, we're going to email your certificate that you can go print out and hang on your wall.
That sounds like an idea. We're going to email you a certificate for you to print out. That sounds like something that a website would push in '99 in order to promote the product. That is ridiculous.
It is. There's just bigger problems. Like, whatever.
Sure.
That's cute.
Part of any video game.
Fine.
Okay, now the games are at $9 up to $10, and the physical games are $20 at launch. $20 you're going to play for a lot of these games that are either were pre-existing mobile games or maybe
weren't these games? What was the original price?
$3 to $8.
$3 to $8. I think it was $2.99 to $8.
Game system are the games themselves. They all have to be super fun to play, and that's where we really, really shine. In fact,
Okay.
That's
no one else.
That's a new game. It's a 1942 type game. There you go. I'd be shocked that wasn't a pre-existing game. By the way, someone will probably hunt that down and realize that might be a pre-existing game.
Yeah, or one that was in development for something else.
Yeah,
are highly curated.
Highly curated.
All of them contain a single and multiplayer or couch co-op mode, and all the games on our system are exclusive or contain exclusive content.
Oh, he finally caved and realized it's bullshit to keep calling these games exclusive because we tacked on a feature that wasn't in the original release.
No one else has ever used that definition of exclusive ever.
It took him a year and a half of arguing with us and other people to be like, you cannot call a game exclusive if it's available on other consoles. You can't. Or other platforms. You just can't do that. That's false advertising. Finally, he says, he admits, okay, exclusive content.
Like Retro Reimagined, where we take some of the greatest classic video games of all time, give them new graphics, new audio, add multiplayer and couch co-op. Some of the things we have, for example, 12 of the best games from Atari, like Breakout, Asteroids, Tempest, Missile Command.
We don't see Tempest, by the way.
We've never seen Tempest. Not even an inkling
like
of Tempest.
Burger Time, we don't see Burger Time.
Never seen Burger Time.
And Bump and Jump.
We don't see Bump and Jump.
I would actually get excited about Bump and Jump. I love Bump and Jump.
So he starts rattling off these names, and then it's like they're buzzwords for people to say, oh, I remember Burger Time, but like, are they being worked on? Have we seen it?
And even some of the best Intellivision games from the past, like Cloudy Mountain.
There's the D&D sort of game.
We have Edutainment.
That's a free flash game on SesameStreet.org with Sesame Street that you can play right now.
And it looks
that's
like
a flash game. A flash game. What exclusive features are you going to add that? I don't know, but that's a free.
We're going to charge you for it. That's the exclusive feature.
We're going to charge you between. We will charge you between $3 and $10 for a free fucking
exclusive
flash game.
in this version. You can pay money.
Exclusive. Pay some money on an awkward and use an awkward controller.
Titles for kids 7 and under. Things like Sesame.
That's another free flash. Yeah.
Street and Care Bears.
That's a free mobile game that I downloaded on my phone to make sure, called Care Bears Carts or whatever. A free mobile game.
Now, our original IP category contains brand new games
that brand new?
Created
brand new.
A lot of times around our unique.
We've been through this before.
Finnick and Fox is not a brand new IP.
No, it's not.
We stop. You took a game called Fox and Force and you made it look worse. It's not an original IP. It's not. Stop it.
Controller. Some of those games are platformers like Finnegan Fox,
No.
Bomb Squad.
How is Bomb Squad an original IP if it was based upon the Intellivision game?
Right.
I don't even understand that.
Also, but this is the first time we've seen anything resembling gameplay in Bomb Squad.
And they're not using an Intellivision controller. They're using a cell phone.
No, that isn't an Intellivision
Is
controller.
It?
Yeah.
Is that the... Are you sure?
Yep.
Oh, okay. We got one.
First
All
time.
right.
First time.
Okay. Sorry, I jumped the gun. Sorry,
all
Tommy.
good.
We got the first time we're seeing it being used for something. For a second. Is it for a second?
Space
A second.
Yes, literally a second.
Strikers, Flying Tigers.
Someone's going to find Flying Tigers was another gamer in development. Someone's going to find it. By the way, that's the only game that has nice sprite work out of almost all these games, by the way. It looks like a 1942 type of game.
And we even got the original Echo the Dolphin team to create our new title called Dolphin Quest.
Okay, so this has been there since the beginning. The original trailer for this back in like fucking August 2018. There was something showing this. I don't know if this is a single screen game like Shark or where this is at. The issue is that we don't know where in development these things are.
The other issue is that lots of people remember Echo the Dolphin, but not lots of people actually remember it fondly.
To actually like have fun playing it, you mean?
Yeah, it was a neat idea that was not exactly greatly implemented.
We even take more modern
Free mobile game that's 5 years old. Evel Knievel.
games and add exclusive co-op modes. Games like Rigid Force Redux and
Already
Enhanced
available,
and
of course.
Dino Blaster. Now, our sports and recreational category not only has
Okay, they showed the baseball game, literally the same footage that they showed back in August of last year. That's literally the same prototype footage. Literally the same 5-second clip. Have you made any progress?
big sports like Major League Baseball and soccer.
New soccer,
but
at least.
Also recreational sports like cornhole, skiing, pool, and many more. Now, our casual category contains many party games, dice games, board games, card games.
When I hear that, grab a pack of cards and dice.
Things like
at that
spades, emoji charades, and even award-winning board games like Blank Slate, Telestrations, and Ink and Gold.
The problem with this stuff is that these are not going to come out. If a big game, a board game like Ink and Gold is not going to be exclusive to the Amico. They'll put it out everywhere for people to play. Or Telestrations. That's not going to be exclusive.
And all of those other games are so generic enough that you can probably find them on multi-packs on other systems.
Those companies would be stupid to put them exclusive on the
Now,
Amico.
I've already mentioned some really big partnerships and licenses like Major League Baseball and Sesame Street.
Partnerships.
But we have
I
even
bought a
more,
license.
including things like Mattel Hot Wheels, Harlem Globetrotters, and so much more.
Do you think what percentage of people watching the E3 stream probably knew what the fuck the Harlem Globetrotters were? I'm being totally honest.
Now,
I feel like that's
15%?
No, I feel like people know.
You think anyone under 20 knows who the Harlem Globetrotters are?
We got
Maybe.
the original team to be working on it. We
That's
want
a
to do
big
something
benefit.
special.
Oh, here we go, Ian. So this is the big denouement.
This is, yeah.
So Earthworm Jim, which capped off the August video, that was the thing that got the most buzz on social media, was Earthworm Jim, right? They showed the little walk cycle, and there was a couple of sound effects, and he walked off screen. We are 10 months from out of August. We're almost a year out of August. You would think that was going to be one of the flagship titles of your system. You would have something new to show.
Yeah.
Tommy shows a giveaway of 3 pictures that'll be signed and given out to you for Earthworm Jim. There's no new gameplay footage, no talk about when this game's going to come out. We have no clue if this game's been worked on the past 10 months.
And I'm pretty sure that's promo art for a book that's unrelated to.
Has nothing to do with the game?
Yeah, it has nothing.
Okay.
It's just leftover promo art.
So
So we're going to give away.
how does it
3 of
look
these new
when the only title that got you buzz at all, you have nothing to show at E3 10 months later?
prints? All of
Nothing.
the team members signed it.
So-
all
Nothing to show.
This is why I said it's very much a back again for the first time thing. He's hoping that this is the first experience most people are having. He's hoping that he can scrap the previous 2 to 3 years of Amico and start fresh.
That's basically it.
But there's no one, like you said, for people who have been following this, the amount of new stuff in here probably totals
Minimal.
a minute and a half tops.
You had
the
shots of 2 or 3 new games.
Yes.
For a couple seconds.
Flying Tigers, the brief
Soccer.
gameplay shot of
The 3D shooter.
Time Bomb, Smart Bomb, whatever. Bomb
Sure.
Squad.
Bomb Squad.
Yeah, I mean that's it. I don't think any of that footage of Night Stalker was new.
We're gonna get into a weird state going forward, and this is what maybe we finish up on. This is not like this is gonna, end tomorrow, but now that there's a public face to this campaign in terms of the mainstream gaming press and to all the people that know about this that were laughing at this, it's not just 5 people. The vast majority of people were either disappointed. Even supporters on Atari Age said, "Yeah, I was expecting more." Even people like, "Yeah, I could have seen more. There wasn't a lot of new stuff."
You can only repackage this shit so many times. It's literally, my thinking is he got a handful of people very excited about this early on. Got all this footage and has just been finding new ways to repackage this footage for about 2 years.
Well, because he doesn't have to. You know why? His money is not entirely on the line. He has investors.
Yeah.
He completed a successful. He got 4,794 funders on Republic alone. That doesn't count any funding for that. $11.6 million committed on Republic. So if those investors never see their money again, which is likely, especially even breaking even, no skin off his back, it's fine. So what's telling is that I'm not sure the investors were made aware of this, because on Republic's site under updates, there has been an update to the Republic investors since May 11th. You think that your investors would want to know about that you're planning an E3 presentation, which is a huge marketing push, the biggest marketing potential you'll ever have to get in front of actual potential audience. And there's still, we're recording this on the 15th, he didn't even tell him that he did it. What does that tell me? That he didn't want the investors to see this or know about this, because he knew that the response was going to be bad, or at least lukewarm at best.
I don't think he wanted the investors to see it, and I think the big thing is, going back to it, the silent. I can't think of a better word for it than the silent delay. By literally not saying anything about the release date, I think it's clear that it's not coming out in October.
I was surprised that there was nothing on this on the Republic investor page, no update at all for this. I was like almost shocked, like, I have investors. This is E3. This is the coming out party for my console, basically. This is like where you cap off. This is where you get the buzz. Nothing. Not a fucking word. But I'll go do my fucking podcasts with YouTubers and have my attack dogs harass people that are critical of a system, but I won't tell my people that gave me over $11 million, they can fuck off. I'm not going to tell them about what's going on in terms of the marketing. Because if I saw this as an investor, even if I was gung-ho about this and saw the reaction, I might have to second guess myself at some point. So this is a weird turning point, I think, now on the coverage, because now going forward, a lot more people will know about this, even if it's not covered by IGN or GameSpot. And like I said, now you're not hidden anymore. This is not behind the scenes. Now It's out in the open. So best of luck. I guess we'll update you in a month when this gets delayed again. That's probably when we're going to come back to this, I'm guessing, because it will be delayed again. All right?
Yeah, I mean, based by his own, based on what has come out of his mouth, if they're not being produced in 15 days, then it's not hitting October.
Or start to be produced, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be up and going in early July there. All right, best of luck, Tommy.